Hey everyone, welcome to another video review. This is the Transformers Age of the Prime's leader class, Onyx Prime. You can see him there in front of the box. We'll go ahead and put him off the side real quick and take a look at said box. And yep, see right there, yeah, of course Transformers Age of the Prime's logo right there, and the 13 Onyx Prime is a little symbol right there. And of course you got the nice artwork of him both, well, a couple of his modes, because it turns out he's actually kind of a quad changer, which is pretty cool. You got 12 and 8, 19 steps and 8 plus and all that stuff right there. And then of course up here you got 13 Onyx Prime and Tomy. And there, hey look, there's a mode, another one of his modes right there on the side. On the side, hey look, there's the, you know, statues and hey look, there's Onyx Prime. Leader class right there. And down here of course you have, you know, what's included in some manufacturing details. And on the back you have, well, it shows 3 modes, but there's kind of 4 modes. It's weird. Yeah, and of course in warnings and copyrights and stuff as well. So yeah, it's weird. Yeah, they show 3 modes. They keep talking about 3 modes, but you look, there's actually 4. So I'm not sure why they would not tell you there's 4 modes. Considering that kind of helps, you know, round out the value of this guy. Also, of course, he comes with instructions, which again are pretty straightforward, because he's actually also really simple. He's like really simple, but kind of makes up for it well size and again number of modes. So yes, Onyx Prime here, you can see he's very brown. Very, very brown here. Getting in a little bit closer. You can see he's got this kind of a like very kind of almost bird-like like face, forehead crest thing. He's got silver face, you know, kind of, yeah, you can see kind of an open mouth like look like peering out of a mouth. Silver face with red eyes there. He's got these like hooves over shoulders and everything. You got the, you know, kind of, you got all this like animal detailing all over the place. You got like fur right here and stuff. You got this, you know, almost, you got bits of silver and like this very pale gold right there and all that stuff. He's got the, you know, backwards knees and everything, little hooves. Again, more fur detailing and tech detailing. He's got the wings again with a little bit more fur detailing. There's some spikes as well. You can see also an animal head on the back and everything. And yeah, he's got a backpack, but you know, it's kind of necessary considering how he transforms and everything, which is actually really cool. It's like, it's really simple, but also there's some really cool stuff here. So yeah, he looks really good, I think. This mode, although this is not my favorite mode. My favorite mode is a different one. No, yeah. He generally looks really good overall, like this. And posability, of course, he's got a good chunk of that too. He's got, you know, help bulge the head, so left and right. He got back and forth. He got a little bit of waggle right there. Shoulders can do a full 360, although you have to watch out for the wings. But yeah, you can do a full 360. Have outward, and this thing can get out of the way a little bit, so you have that much outward right there. Thanks to transformation, well, you kind of have somewhat butterfly, but not really a whole lot, just because these are in the way. You do have a bicep swivel right above the elbow, right there. There is an elbow bend about 90 degrees. Wrists can swivel like that. You also have opening and closing hands, all one finger piece thing right there. Back here at the wings, of course, as you see, you can see the wings can go forward and back right there. On that hinge, there's an outward right there on that hinge. And there's another hinge right here for this wing thing right there. So you can give him one heck of a wingspan if you really want. You know, give him one heck of a wingspan. Down here, of course, you have a waist, which is kind of below everything a little bit. You got what's below the hip skirt, which is a little annoying, but yeah. There's a waist piece you have to kind of lift up both the hip and butt skirt thing, get a lot of range, but there is range there. It's a little obstructed. Hips, of course, can go forward about that far and back about that far. Of course, you get to get the butt plate out of the way. Outward, you do have more than the full splits, which is nice. You have, of course, the thigh swivel. Knees are fun because you got, well, this knee right here, which has some clicky points for a reason. But yeah, he's got this knee which goes there, like this joint right here. This does that. You can see, and of course down here you do have ankle tilts at the feet. No other joints down here except for this kind of a heel joint, which yeah, you'll see it just kind of unseated itself a bit because yeah, there's a bit of a problem there. So that. Now, yeah, I said that was a bit of a problem. Yeah, the thing is, there have been several reported problems, including like here at the bicep swivel. There are people who reported like stress marks. I don't have any, at least none that I can see. I don't see any stress marks, but yeah, some people have reported stress marks at the bicep swivels, and I'm not seeing any on mine. And there's also this thing right here. These heel bits right here, unfortunately, have a tendency to kind of pop themselves out of their joints when you use them, which you kind of need to. You can see that, like, it's not. It sometimes will just kind of push itself out, and there's a pain in the butt, I can tell you, to get it back into its correct position. So that's fun. Yeah, those are the couple joints. Those are the couple things I've noticed. But other than that, he's generally pretty much all right. Those are the only things I've noticed. Stress marks. Well, again, I don't have any stretch marks, but people have noticed stretch marks on their bicep symbol, and again, the heels have a tendency to pop themselves loose, which is annoying. But other than that, he doesn't seem to have any real huge problems. Although sometimes when they collapse his wings, sometimes because of how they're designed, they kind of catch on themselves, but that's not really a problem because this is kind of rubberized plastic, so shouldn't be too much of an issue, and then it's easy to uncatch them too, so there's that. Now, for accessories, he does have them with, well, in this mode, it's kind of a tail, which you can attach to the back here. Right here. There's a little slot right here, you just type it in right there, and it's you got a bit of a tail if you want. You know, more of the whole bestial thing going on. Why are you standing funny now? Ah. Yeah, sometimes he wants to stand funny. Yeah. He also has this little pull thing and this little, I guess, bladed thing. Again, it's kind of brown and kind of pale gold. This just pegs onto the top right here, and this can go in his hand. It's pretty much 5mm compatible, so yeah, you got to put that in his hand like a staff. That's more than that, but I want to show it off in the other modes. I want to show it off in the other modes instead of this one. But yeah, generally not bad. He's a good size and everything, and yeah, he's just a pretty solid thing. And yeah, speaking of size, in this mode, to the top of his head, he's about 8 inches or 20.3 centimeters tall, and yeah, his total wingspan, any mode, is at max extension is about 10 5/8 inches or 27 centimeters. So he's good size wingspan. He also has a weight of 8.1 ounces, which is about 230 grams. He's also pretty weighty. So yeah, he definitely fills out his leader class price point. He is a big dude, and he has a good amount of articulation, as you saw. He's got it, you know, in joints and everything, and he's big and solid. You can see there's not really any huge hollow areas. Nothing at least too egregious, or at least not necessary. And there you go. So some comparisons, real quick. The de facto standard of SS86 Optimus, right there. Give you an idea of that. His old Power of the Prime self that was included with Predaking, which is being reissued, turns out. So if you don't have this, you can get this, I guess, another Onyx Prime. Yeah, I've spent $200-something on a Onyx Prime. Yeah. So that's the thing. And of course, all the most of the previous Primes. Again, I'm not bringing out Star Optimus until later. Yeah, there's pretty much most of the Primes so far. Most of them, except, again, Star Optimus, who I've dealt because of the sheer amount of stuff. Again, I'm going to bring Star Optimus out when all of them are out. So, yeah. Because this is, yeah, this is 6 of them. We're almost about halfway on this, at least at this point. So, there you go. Now, to transform him to the first of his, 4 modes. First, get this out of his hand, of course. Now, and of course, get this thing. You actually, yeah, get this thing out of his butt. So, for him here, what you want to do is, let's see, how do I want to do this? Oh, first right here, take this right here, and take the face and close it up into the head, like that. Like so, okay? Then take the hooves here, you want to untab them from the chest and bring them up like this. Just untab and bring up like there, like that. Okay? Bring this up a little bit, there we go. Now, here are the shoulders. You want to use these joints right here and bring the shoulders forward to get them out of the way a bit, and then you bring these down, like so. Gonna get the shoulders up and out of the way like that too. And right here, what you want to do is then take the back, this right here. You want to take the monster head right here and bring it up like this. And right here, there's a joint right here, which is kind of maybe hard to see, but yeah, there's a joint right here, which you pivot this whole thing around like this until there's a click point right there. You'll click that into place. That. Then you go ahead right here and bring the legs the rest of the way down, and probably have to rotate them around like that. And straighten these out kind of so there's kind of more or less, this legs will be sitting like that, right? Again, same thing, just bring it down and rotate it around like that, and have the legs sitting like that, these legs. Then you go ahead right here and bring the arms back down and around, back down like that. And then back here, the rear legs, you want to go ahead right here. Also bring this back down like that, so this is kind of the other way. You want to bring them down right here, and then yeah, there we go. Then right here, there's a right here you want to take this heel piece and collapse into the foot like that. And then right here at the knees, I talked about this, there's click points. You want to bring this up one click. There's a point where it'll kind of lock in, and then you bring this forward a bit like that. So it should sit more or less like this, and the same thing on this leg. And you bring this down, you bring this up until it clicks right there, and then bring this forward a click, and then you of course take the heel piece and bring it in like that, and make adjustments as necessary. And with that, you pretty much have the Centaur mode, which, yeah, we don't really get Centaurs, really. And of course, make sure this is kind of a little bit out of the way, like that. And there you go, yeah, Centaur mode, yeah, because you don't really get Centaurs, really, do you? I mean, it's kind of neat. But yeah, just Centaur mode, like here, it's kind of neat that this actually just straight up exists at all, you know. Posability, you know, the arms and head are pretty much the same as before. The legs are largely the same. Again, you know, all that stuff. These legs, though, you know, you also got forward and back right here. There's an outward right here, which goes, you know, again, pretty far. There is no rotation. There is a rotation right here. And there's, of course, these joints right here. There's a double joint right there, you know, like that. And then right here at the hoof, you do have this joint right here. So, yeah, all the other joints are pretty much exactly the same as they are in robot mode. But, yeah. Is that. So, yeah, now... these accessories can do something else. This tail here, the thing is, it can split. If I can get, let's find a good spot to split at. Yeah, split in half like this, and you open it up like that, and that looks a lot like a bow, doesn't it? And you can take this thing, which is pretty cool, right here. What you do is take this right here. There's a little slot right here. And you just tab this right here, and that becomes the arrow. I have a bow and arrow, and then this. Right here on the arm, which unfortunately because of how it's designed, it can only really go on the right hand. Open up right here in the inside the finger, you see there's a slot right there, which, well, the bow can tab into. Essentially, so yeah, he's basically can hold a bow and arrow. Now this is not quite the right way, but you know, he can basically have a bow and arrow right there, which is again pretty cool. Yeah, so there's that. So that's one mode. That is one mode right there. No, focus is losing it. Yeah, that's one of the modes. There's two more actually. Now, this is, I guess, an alternate robot mode. But yeah, to get to the, I guess, beast modes now, the real alternate modes. Again, take this and fold this back up right there, and then take this on and tab that. We'll come back to those in a little bit. But from now, what you do is take this head here. You want to take the head and push it back into this little crevice right there. Bring up this chest piece right here. It comes up and it comes over top of the head like that. And you can then take this head and bring it around. You can see the tab here, which will go in a little slot right there like that. And then what you want to do is go ahead and make this picture, this hip skirt right here, bring forward, and then you go ahead and fold it back down like this, and you know, like that. You go ahead and bring these down as well. So then what you want to do is with the leg pieces, you want to make sure to bring this all the way back and then all the way down like that, and say again all the way back and all the way down. And then this right here, you want to fully collapse these as well. Fully collapse, you can see fully collapse that. And then right here, break the hands like this, and then rotate the hands like this, and also open up the fingers like that. And again, and also that's what it was. Bring these forward right here, like that, and then rotate right there at the biceps like that. Yeah. Almost forgot. Then of course get all this lined up. And that is one of the beast modes right there. I almost forgot. Right here, back here, you take this thing and you open this up, and no, you don't plug it into here. There's a little slot right up here. Instead, you plug it into that one, like this. Tab it up in there, and then there you go. Now it's got a tail. Now it's pretty much finished. Yeah. So now he's in his. I believe this is supposed to be the hippogriff. I think. Yeah, in this mode, yeah, I guess hippogriff, if I recall. Yeah, again, It's pretty decent. I mean, kind of weird with the 6 legs now, but you know, it's fine. Honestly, it's kind of weird. It's just kind of weird looking. Honestly, it's not my favorite personally, but you know, it's not terrible. But again, all this articulation is the same. I've already covered it pretty much, except now the arms are now kind of, these bits are now more forward oriented. So you know, you kind of adjust the thing a little bit, like that somewhat adjusts things. But you know, all the joints are the same as they were in the robot mode. The head here, right here, this head right here, though, you know, you got this ball joint right here, so you got left and right, you got twists left and right, you got up and down right there, and a little bit of side to side waggle and everything. And right here, this jaw can open and rah, like that. So there you go on that. And of course, the weapons here, this top of the tail, this stuff right here, you can untab this from here, and then this right here, you get a little slot right there on this thing. You just tab that in like that, and then this thing can tab in right here like that, and that's pretty much your weapon storage. So yeah, not bad, but you know, not my favorite, honestly. It's not exactly my favorite, to be honest. So yeah, what is it doing? There we go. And of course, one final mode, because that's the one I'm going to do the comparisons, because it's really not that much different, which is getting these wings out of the way and stuff. What you got to do is basically bring the center legs out right there, and then you know, get them, rotate them right there, and then bring them up and extend these out fully, and bring these around, bring these out, bring these arms back out, bring these around, and more or less configured like how you would in the robot mode. So bring them down, and there's these slots right here, or tabs right here, that the hooves will slot over like that. That came off. Yeah, make sure those go underneath the wings like that. Then this should just slot right in. That. And again, bring it up, extend this out, rotate it around like this, and bring it forward like that. Bring this out when you got to that point, and then wrap this around, and then tab it in right there. Wrapping the hoof around like that, and then just the arms as necessary. Now I believe this is supposed to be the Griffin mode. I think it's called a Griffin. They want to call it a Griffin, but yeah, this one between the two beast modes, this is I think the better of the two personally, just because the problem is, part of my problem with the other mode is just simply the legs feel really crowded together. So it's just kind of like there's posability, but you can't really do much with it just because there's so much going on that it's just like this one feels a little bit more better. Yeah, as a quadruped, it's a little more. I guess some people would always think it's a little more boring, but I feel it's more cohesive in the sense. It just feels better. It just feels nicer to mess with, and like, you know, if that makes sense, it just feels a little nicer to mess with comparatively because of the fact that yeah, it feels a little more nice to play with. So yeah, again, all the articulation already covered. Pretty much every single bit of articulation in this mode is this, you know, is where you'd think it would be. So yeah, there you go. So again, quick comparisons on this. And here's the line-wide standard. We got here Studio Series 86 Optimus, who, yeah, this truck is quite small compared to this thing. That. Why not? Here's Onyx, you know, Onyx Prime in his previous, you know, Power of the Primes mode, the cube, Prime Master, whatever, and whatever. Quite the size difference there. And there are the primes so far in their respective alt modes. And this is the thing, is like a lot of them basically being some sort of truck thing or some sort of wedge shape thing. And I feel Onyx Prime is one of the first, well, Megatronus is really cool, but Onyx Prime is one of the first really kind of more out there of the primes, and considering what else are just coming out with this wave and in future waves, oh boy, they got pretty creative with what the primes do. So I'm kind of looking forward to some of the more other wild stuff they're doing. So there you go. Yeah, that's Onyx Prime. Again, a bit of a quad changer, although, yeah, the modes, as you saw, the transformation is very simple. There's not really a whole lot. The biggest thing to be mindful of, you kind of have to do the arms and stuff in the correct order, else the things are going to be banging into each other. Some people have reported, you know, some stress marks here and there, including also, yeah, the heels for the robot mode are very prone to popping off while transforming him. but he's kind of cool just because he's big, he's solid, and he's got 4 modes. So yeah, despite the fact he's really basic in transformation, he makes up for both size and just variety. So he's just cool. He's just really imaginative. We've never really gotten a we've never really gotten a transforming Centaur as far as I can remember. So at least on Transformers, and it's just because of that, that by itself is pretty cool. That's probably the mode a lot of people are going to display it, and if I have the room, I'm going to try to display in that mode as well. But you know, it's one of the things. Sometimes shelf space kind of becomes the problem of well, what you want doesn't exactly happen. But he's pretty cool. I'm not really too the 6-legged beast mode. It's kind of cool just from the fact that 6 legs is kind of a net cool thing going on. But beyond that, it's just it's a little clunky. Personally, I find that its posing is really clunky in that mode. This is the better of the two, although just from the sake of just playability. Yeah, the Centaur mode is the better of the 2 robot modes, just because it looks cool as heck. It's just cool as heck. But yeah, generally, yeah. Well, despite being simple, he's still, I think, worth the $55-$60 because the Onyx Prime here coming out at this time when the prices are shifting. So some people like me, I think I paid $55, but a lot of people are going to wind up paying, $60 at least plus tax and everything. So he's still really good, solid. He's a big, solid figure, and I think because of that, he works really well. So, that came untapped. Yeah, he's a big, solid figure, and he works really well because he's solid. And then, again, there's not any real gapping issues other than if you're looking really hard for it. But yeah, for the most part, he doesn't really have any massive gapping, and I think that's going to appeal to a lot of people in general. So, yeah, he's definitely, I think, one of the better primes, along with Megatronus and. Yeah, well, a couple of one of the future ones I haven't talked about yet, but yeah, you'll see soon, very soon. Yeah, he's cool. So I think I definitely recommend picking him up if you can, unless you're just really are turned off by beast formers or just whatever, some other thing. I think he's worth the leader class price at full price. So that's it for this review. I hope you find it informative and entertaining. Hope you like, comment, subscribe. Check out my social media down in the description and at the end of the video. Check out my coffee and my Patreon. I'll see you next time with another video review.